We are those girls.
I thought it was these. Okay, sorry.
Always lost.
Period.
Bloody
Bloody vaginas. Periods.
Yeah.
Period.
Viewer discretion is advised.
And that's our period.
We're gonna be talking about our period.
Yeah, our first time.
Our first time.
Yeah.
Our first time in current situation.
Yeah.
And what we use.
Yes.
So hopefully our experiences warm you up into doing what you gotta do with your periods.
With the pudding in the pudding. With
Okay.
the period. Okay, sorry guys.
Okay, well, the first time I got mine was I was only 11 years old, and thank God I got mine when I was at home. So I woke up one morning and I went to use the washroom, and I just saw something in my underwear, and I didn't really think what it was. I had no idea what it was. So
Sorry. I broke.
I went and I changed my underwear,
Yes.
and then I put a fresh one, and then again I used the washroom, and then see the same stain again. And I was a little bit confused because I had no idea what it was. So I told my mom, and then my mom's like, "Oh, you're finally a woman." And I was just so confused as a child. I didn't know what that meant. And I had an older sister, but she didn't get her period. So I got mine first before hers. So I had no, information regarding about that. And when it comes to Middle Eastern cultures, you don't really talk about periods or sex because it's taboo. So I had no idea what it was until I went to grade 6, and that's that time in school I was 12 years old, and then they were teaching us sex education on what period was, and then I finally understood what the reproductive system about the woman and the period, what it actually does. So yeah, that was my experience.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, I don't use tampons. I use only pads, and I'm thinking about using a Diva cup because I've been reading a lot of online reviews about it, but I'm just not ready yet on maybe doing it because I feel like it has to be a lot of preparedness and you have to be very clean and hygienic, so maybe I'm not ready for that. So yeah, we'll see.
I like the process to change the Diva cup versus changing a pad.
The pad is easy.
You
to
wash your
change.
hands and then you change your pad. You wash your hands when you're done.
Yeah.
But with the Diva cup, you gotta
You
scrub
gotta
your
scrub
fingernails.
your nails, by the way.
Because you're
Yeah.
putting it in some. Lord.
And you're sticking your fingers up there and taking it out.
And
And yeah. But I'm just glad, my flow, it lasts between 4 to 5 days and I'm not heavy. I'm only the first day is heavy and I'm light afterwards, but I don't get a lot of cramps lately. So.
why are you looking at us? Why are you getting cramps lately, Rania?
Oh, you know why, but yeah. No, but every time I get cramps, it's all the time in my abdomen or my lower back, and sometimes my leg gets cramping. But out of the pain, I would prefer my abdomen because I hate lower back pains and leg pains. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, it's all right. I mean, I enjoy it. It's part of womanhood, so it's not a big deal.
I don't
I
enjoy
love
it.
I don't.
because
Jesus could have kept that part.
Right?
I didn't
Yeah.
need that part.
I
Thank
love
you.
it because
At least one day. I'm okay with one day. It's
right.
7.
But I want to know
a
when I want to know when I'm getting it and when I know when I'm fertile, basically. So it's good that we have it.
That's
Because if I didn't have it, I don't know when if you don't have your period, you can't get pregnant. You can't have a child. Basically,
That's true, but
It's
we're
impossible
saying
to have children.
the duration and all
Yeah.
of that everything that comes
But
with
that's
having your
part-
period.
yeah.
It's a bit much.
yeah.
It's a bit
Yeah,
much.
because your hormones are out of.
You're not
everywhere,
even
basically.
yourself sometimes. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah. So, anyways, next
What about you, Jack?
one. What about you?
So I got my period when I was 10 years old on Christmas Day. I will never forget it because
Merry Christmas.
I had been feeling pretty much Merry Christmas. I was like,
Here's your
thank you.
gift of blood.
Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah.
I really needed that as a 10-year-old. I needed that. But I was a few days before I got my period, I was not feeling well. you're 10 and you're naive and you don't know how to explain certain, especially when it comes to your body. You would obviously want to go to the adult. Like I told my grandma, I'm not feeling well. What's wrong? Like I was like, my belly hurts, but it wasn't my belly. It was like my abdomen area, and my cramps were so intense. Oh my god! I was 10, guys. I was 10. The day I got my period, I remember I was just out of it. Hot flashes. I couldn't eat. I was nauseous, everything. And then literally just a pool of blood. And my grandma almost lost her shit because she was like, who touched you? My grandma was just so concerned that someone did something to me because I couldn't even understand. Like, even right now, it's like, imagine a 10-year-old coming to you and telling you, I'm bleeding down there. You're thinking a million things, you know? So we got pads. No painkiller helped me that day. None. At the end of the day, my grandparents, they gave me moonshine, like rum, like strong rum with like bugs and stuff inside of it.
What?
Yeah. I drank it, KO. I woke up, blood everywhere. I'm like, oh my god. Bleeding, it was, I don't have a good experience with my periods. I don't like them. They're just not any cause of happiness in my life. My periods usually last between 7 to 9 days, and I bleed. I'm so heavy when I bleed. I was on birth control at a very young age just to regulate it and to regulate the cramps, but birth controls made me even more sick. Like I would have mood swings, and I tried different birth controls for periods of times, but I just, like last year, I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. It's not worth it to me. I prefer to just get the period, deal with it for the 9 days, and then that'll be it. Instead of my hormones just fluctuating all the time. And what else can I say? I used to use tampons all the time before, but it got to the point where it's like, you know what, baby? I ain't gotta be in there every hour just pulling out tampons. This is uncomfortable. No. Because I bleed so heavily, it's just like, I'm wasting like a box of tampons in like, not a day and a half. Like, so I use pads now, and I still don't like them because they're uncomfortable, but they work, so whatever. What else can I say? Oh, I was thinking, you know, like, maybe my diet, to modify my diet to help in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm 20. I got my period when I was 10, guys. I'm 28 now. I still get cramps. They still last that long. They're still very painful. I've woken up in the hospital twice because of my period, because I just passed out because I could not deal with it. I was bleeding so much, and I'm smaller. Like, I'm a skinny person, but I was like MAGA before, like MAGA. So imagine all the blood I'm losing, and like I'm not eating because I will throw up. Literally, like, oh Jesus. You know what? I got questions, okay? I got questions.
I got answers.
Wow, you got it bad. Wow.
But when I'm not on my period, I am sunshine. Okay. You, sir? Woo!
All right, Jack.
I'm hot. So I was 14 when I first had my period. I was home alone, and I didn't technically. I heard about periods, but I didn't experience for myself. So I didn't know, and I was clueless. Once you have it, you just don't know. You're like, oh my gosh, you're still in shock. So all I used that day was toilet paper. And also I was going to an amusement park with Rania. It's called Wonderland, kind of like Six Flags. And I didn't tell anybody about me having my period, and it was my first day having my period. I just went along for the ride with my period.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. So, at that time I felt a little nauseous and uncomfortable, but I didn't speak out on it. I just kept it to myself, which I normally do. So kudos to me. And so now currently I am using a Diva cup. I feel that it is, I guess, environmentally
trying to go green with the
We need to
Refill,
also,
refill.
we're going green with period. We need to all go use the Diva Cup and go green.
But it's kind of like you have to be
You have
able
to like it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, because you know what you were saying. Like, you want to try it. I don't want. I know. No, you have to want to do it. If there's, I was telling you about the underwear, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk after. When you finish.
Yeah, no, But I have the Diva Cup. I'm using a Diva Cup right now. I think it is better for myself because I get to see what's actually coming out and like, oh my gosh, what's that? Or how much I filled up the cup in 2 hours,
Jesus
you know?
Christ.
I'm just kidding. It's never been that full in 2 hours, but but every time that I use the washroom, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see all the blood. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's something to get used to. And at the beginning, I did not like it. Like, it was really uncomfortable, and I still stuck onto my pads. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. But I gradually started using the Diva Cup more and more, monthly, and I started liking it. And
you got used to it afterwards. That's why. I
So
think
like
that
it.
could happen to me too, but I'm just not ready yet.
Yeah.
But I'm still shocked how you never told me when we went to Wonderland.
I know.
Because that day we had a blast.
I wasn't there, guys. I don't know.
We went everywhere on drop zone, we had like every damn ride in Wonderland. And
I know.
And you didn't feel sick that day, which I was surprised. You were like how do you say, like a tough
Cookie?
Yeah, a tough
We're a
cookie,
tough
basically. Because you had showed no signs of your period.
I know.
So that's I'm like a little bit shocked how you told me how you got on the first day where we both went to an amusement park.
I know.
So wow.
I don't know. I like to bottle up things. You know that, right?
Yeah, I
So-
noticed that, but
Until
until now.
8 days, That's what you're
I
doing.
fainted. Yeah.
Oh my
Passed out on the highway driving. What?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
So it was,
Yeah.
my fault. I need to start talking more about how I feel and what's on my mind to everybody that's around me. Instead of bottling it up.
I agree.
But you guys out there with your periods and guys, you too have
Yeah.
sisters and,
Yeah, tell
and
them.
brothers
Tell them
and brothers wanting them.
what she said.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think, just to elaborate on her point, guys, girls, fathers, uncles, brothers, sisters, baby, I don't care.
Baby.
Periods. You guys, not babies. They don't know what's going on. Everyone should be educated on period and stop being silly about it. Because if for myself, right? If, God forbid, like I'm walking and then, I happen to, have an accident, right? I would want someone to tell me. I don't want to continue walking around and there's a gunshot wound in my asshole. I don't want that.
I've seen that happen, by the way. Not to me, but to somebody else.
I said this. Every purse or every bag that I have when I go out, I have a pad in it. 50% of the time, I'm not the one using my pads. It's usually I help someone out. It's necessary. I'm not saying, men should walk around with pads, and that's not what I mean.
That's creepy.
But don't be a dumb. Just if you see someone having an accident or whatever, just tell them. Pay them the courtesy of just telling them.
No,
Don't
just hold them aside and tell them.
Yeah,
Don't be, hey, your blood
The
on your butt.
last time that it happened, it was at work, I think. It was at work. And I literally walked behind her and I'm like, let's go to the washroom. You're leaking. I in her ear, just walking behind her. It's just, I don't know. Just be more conscious.
Yeah.
Okay, like me, I'm a regular cycle. I know when mine's come, so I always have pads ready when it's around the corner. But if you're not a regular person, you should carry 24/7 pads with you. How can you go out in public? Because I remember when I was in high school, I was waiting at the bus stop and I see a girl with her friends, and one of them was wearing dark blue jeans, and she started leaking. I could see it all, the gunshot wound on her ass, and everybody was laughing. And her friends didn't know because they were standing in front of her. So when we got on the bus, if she sits on the chair, she's gonna have the chair's gonna be full of blood. So I just find it ironic. How do you not know when you're supposed to get it? If you're not regular, carry it with you.
Even
Carry
though
pads with you regardless.
sometimes, for me,
you don't know when you're
I
getting
have
it.
But
OCD.
in high school too. though.
I have OCD when I have my period, and sometimes because you learn, I've had my period for 18 years now. That's crazy to even say. I'm 28 years old. I have had my period for 18 years.
50s
So,
or 60s.
for me, like I've always been heavy, so I'm so conscious of it. Like I would get ready, go to work. When I get to work, I'm changing again. In like an hour and a half, I'm going to the work. I'm so conscious of, but some people, and when you're younger too, you'll feel like you put a pad on now, you should be okay for a few hours. And then you're bleeding through your pad, and you need someone to just tap you on, just tell you need to.
I think
you know
you
what
need
I mean?
Depends.
Or you can smell
Depends.
it too. Don't use Depends, guys.
Somebody needs to use Depends, definitely.
Yeah, like
That's
I don't
gross.
think always works anymore. It's time to stick on Depends.
They
like-
tell you 8 to 6 hours depending on what cycle you are on, or the pad that you use.
Yeah, and now with Always, they're like it's so good how far they've come with
Yeah.
Always.
Finally, it's about
Yeah,
time.
it's like the size and like it's so good.
Yeah.
Your underwear.
As far as
I
as
feel
far
like
as
I'm wearing a
hygiene
diaper
goes,
anymore.
as far as don't kill me. You're not walking like this anymore.
I used to walk like that with the thicker
Oh, you
pads.
got a period.
Now they made it flat and slim, and I'm just like, like
You like squeeze your ass when you're
yeah,
walking
it's
so
like
all the
twisted
padding.
shit. Oh my god, like you know what I mean, so.
and a hygiene tip for younger people and for older people: use like you can get wipes, like flushable wipes, or use when you go to the washroom, use wipes because it's blood, it's bodily fluids. Your like just keep the area clean. Some girls I know because I've smelt it and I'm just like,
the
oh my
smell.
god!
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't. No. Are you talking about you smelled it in the public washroom?
On the bus, in the public washroom, on the street, it's.
No.
A lot of girls do not. They'll go
No.
and they'll just change the pad and wipe it with a tissue, and then that's it.
No. Let me tell you something.
Especially
It's not
summertime.
just about hygienic. It's the smell of their blood when it comes out. Because remember, it's coming inside of us, and there are gonna be times where it smells like dead corpse.
I don't. My
Yeah,
blood.
actually,
My blood smells like blood, like fresh blood.
Yes.
You know, it smells like
It's
blood.
normal.
But-
But I'm saying some women, theirs smells like dead corpse. It's not a joke.
No, because-
even if they
because
clean
they don't-
themselves and wipe it, trust me,
It
it's the
depends on what
smell
you
of
eat,
the
actually.
iron
I'm
or
gonna
soccer
say
or whatever
it
the hell it
depends
is.
on what you eat.
It smells because of their body. Trust me.
I was going to a public washroom, and I'm like, I like to be prepared. I'm the girl with the bag with everything in it. I'm sitting on 10. I'm ready. So go to the washroom. You wipe the seat. I wipe the seat, but I don't sit on it still. I just don't want any probability of anything touching me, so I still wipe. So then I'm sitting down, right? And I'm like, oh my god! It felt like someone shot a cat and just took their blood and threw it all over the washroom.
What?
Like it smelled so
Like a dead animal.
bad. Oh my
In the
god!
washroom?
Yeah, in the washroom.
Oh, because they have those
And you can see like
disposable.
I don't know
Okay,
who it
here's
was.
the thing.
I don't
No,
know who
no,
it
no,
was,
no,
but
let
it
me-
just smelled. I'm like, oh my god.
Another thing to remember, when we have that disposable in the women's washroom and they throw all their waste in that bin, remember the janitor sometimes doesn't clean it for days or weeks and it stinks.
But
so
the other thing is,
much.
don't just take your pad off and drop it in there. Fucking use tissue.
Yeah.
Even if you roll it, the smell still
If you have
lingers. It still
If
lingers.
it's wrapped up, Rania, that's
even
like a
if
big
it's
problem.
wrapped, trust me, even if it's wrapped
that's
up
not true.
and it goes in the bin, it still smells. Trust me.
Because I have my like when I have my period, I will have like a tiny little bags in my room.
Yeah.
Like,
Just for it.
Just for it.
Yeah.
I'll take one and tie it and
Yeah,
put
that's
it
me
in.
too.
And girl, I'm gonna. You know what? At some point, I'm gonna make a video to give you guys a guide on the how to keep your bag together for when you're ready.
Right?
So when you're upset, you just leave. You don't need nobody. You don't need nothing.
bring some
Just
chocolate,
leave.
Tylenol, you know,
Yeah, I
everything.
don't.
Some rum wine.
I know.
If you're of the age, guys.
Yeah.
so you
Yeah, if
don't.
you're the age, if
And
you're underage.
Another thing that I think, like I was telling you guys before, I have to consider like my diet. Although I try to be very mindful of what I eat.
Yeah.
It's weird to say that my diet will change a lot about my period because this one eats everything and her period is fine. Nothing. Her face, flawless. No
Yeah.
pimples, nothing.
I know.
Whereas I'm
Genetics.
trying to be so conscious most of the time. I'm trying to be on my period. I don't have any consciousness of. I eat what my body tells me. I listen to my brain and I feed into every craving that I have when I have my period. Just because if I don't, it becomes like a frustration for me and I'm already hormonal. No. So I'm going to try to change my diet around a little bit to see if that helps. This one is super health conscious, and then still she has some issues. So it's like we don't know. People are just different, yeah. So that's all I have to say. But stay tuned. I'm gonna give y'all a guide. What to keep in your bag. I got you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. We are these girls.
We are these girls. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.